Hello, everyone, and welcome to Uncivil Law. And for today's story, we have an update in one of the Capitol rioters' cases. This is a case we didn't expect to see because of the recent pardons and commutations, but today, a judge has sentenced one of the people who was involved in the Capitol riots to 10 years in prison. Sentenced today. So we're going to cover a little bit of their case and what they've been up to. So let's turn our attention to this. This is the case of Emily, and we're going to read a little bit about her. And let's see what happened with respect to Emily. What did Emily do? Let's see. All right, so we skipped the prelude, and we'll pick it up here. On or about January the 8th of 2021, at least 3 individuals, tipsters 1, 2, and 3, submitted tips online to the FBI to identify a person seen in a widely circulated video by ITV News, a television news network based in the United Kingdom. The FBI contacted tipster 1 and tipster 2. Tipster 1 referred the FBI to interviewee 1. The ITV News video depicted rioters storming the Capitol building on January 6, 2021. The tipsters provide screenshots or still shots from videos similar to that of Figure 1. In the video available on ITV's website at approximately 2 minutes and 35-second mark, a large group of individuals can be seen streaming in and out of the room of Capitol building with a curved entryway and a wooden sign above the doorway stating Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. The reporter narrating the video can be seen saying the moment they breach the Capitol and enter the office itself. At approximately 2 minutes and 47-minute mark, a female with brown hair, round sunglasses, and white and gray hair appears to be standing near the same office with the curved entryway, except the one sign is missing from the door above. Person 1 then appears to hold up a broken sign engraved with a piece of wood and white manila envelope. The fractured wood appears to be a piece of the same wooden sign previously seen above the speaker's house, as was the words House and Nancy are clearly available. She's holding up the broken sign. Very exciting. In a tips to the FBI, tipster 1 identified person 1 as seen in the video as the individual named Emily Hernandez. Tipster identified that Hernandez was from Sullivan, Missouri. Tipster 1 also submitted the photograph seen in Figure 2 as a tip, again identifying person 1 as Emily Hernandez. The FBI contacted tipster 1, who confirmed the information provided to the FBI online and advised that tipster 1 and Hernandez had mutual acquaintances. Tipster 1 recognized Hernandez throughout their association on social media. Person 1, as depicted in Figure 2, was also recognized via online tips as Emily Hernandez by tipster 2, 3, and multiple pictures. And again, we see her holding up a picture of the Speaker of the House's sign standing outside the Capitol. Tipster 1 also submitted a photograph taken from Emily Hernandez's Facebook page as a tip to the FBI. The photograph appears to depict Hernandez wearing the same winter hat as was worn by person 1 inside and outside the U.S. Capitol on January 6. Tipster 1 recommended the FBI contact her interview 1, a high school friend of person 1. Interviewee confirmed that she had seen the photographs of person 1 at the Capitol and identified her as Emily Hernandez of Sullivan, Missouri. Tipster 2 submitted an online tip to the FBI containing a video depicting person 1 wearing the same hat and sunglasses from Figure 1 and 2 within the dome of the Capitol building rotunda above her. Pictures 4 and 5 are still within frame, showing person 1 in the Capitol building and person 1 in possession of several items to include the fractured piece of wood and red sign. Tipster 1 identified person 1 in the video as Emily Hernandez of Sullivan, Missouri. The FBI contacted tipster 2 to confirm the information submitted online and advised that tipster 2 was introduced to Hernandez through mutual acquaintances but has not been seen in several years. Tipster 2 saw the video when they posted the Hernandez Snapchat account. Tipster 2 and Hernandez are friends on Snapchat. And again, we see pictures of them and pictures of the sign. Additional photographs submitted to the FBI as anonymous tips appeared to depict the person outside the Capitol building displaying the fractured wooden sign. The anonymous tipsters who submitted figures 6, 7, and 8 did not identify person 1 as Hernandez. So we see some additional photos with the sign. The FBI conducted research on government databases and learned there was an individual named Emily Hernandez associated with a residence in Sullivan, Missouri. A search of the Missouri Department of Motor Vehicles returned Emily Hernandez's driver's license photograph. By comparing this photograph to the image of person 1, your affiant reasonably believes person 1 is identical to Emily Hernandez. On or about January the 14th of 2021, the FBI consulted with the House of Representatives curator to determine the value of the speaker's nameplate that had been posted above her office. The curator estimated the cost to repair would be $870. Based on the foregoing, the FBI believes there's probable cause to believe Emily did the following things. 18 U.S.C. 1752, which makes it a crime to knowingly enter or remain in any restricted building, and knowingly, with intent thereof, to impede or disrupt the orderly function. 40 U.S.C. 5104, which makes it a crime to willfully and knowingly utter loud and threatening or abusive language, and 18 U.S.C. 641, which makes it a crime to embezzle, steal, purloin, or knowingly convert to his or her use without authority, sell, convert, or dispose of any record, voucher, or monetary thing of value, thus submitted by the FBI. Well, that sounds like a lot of things. And she was sentenced today for 10 years in prison. But I have misled you. Because although she was sentenced to 10 years today, and although she was involved in January 6th, that wasn't why she was sentenced. I have pulled a fast one on you. So we bring her to the charges for which she was submitted today, which are completely distinct from anything I just said because I was trying to pull a little trick on you. The Franklin woman was sentenced to 10 years in prison for a deadly DUI crash. Let's learn a little bit more about this story. The deadly crash happened on January the 5th of 2022, almost a year to the day after the events of January 6th. The Franklin County woman who was sentenced to 10 years in prison for a deadly drunk driving crash days after being pardoned by President Trump for her role in the January 6th Capitol riot. Video showed Emily Hernandez holding a stolen broken nameplate belonging to the former House Speaker. Hernandez pled guilty to her involvement and served 30 days in federal prison. But more for our purposes. She also pled guilty on January 5th, 2024 in connection with a DWI wrong way crash. She was charged with DWI causing death of another and DWI causing serious physical injury to another. On January 5th of 2022, Hernandez drove on Interstate 44 for several miles going the wrong way. That's an accomplishment. With a blood and alcohol concentration of 0.125 before crashing into another car belonging to Franklin County couple Victoria and Ryan Wilson. The couple had just left dinner celebrating their 15th wedding anniversary. Unfortunately, their last. Victoria, 32, died, and Ryan faced several injuries. The couple has 2 children, now 18 and 13. A sentencing memorandum from Hernandez's defense described her as kind, gentle, and a quiet young girl. Defense further added that prior to this event, Emily had no negative interactions with law enforcement and no criminal history. In fact, Emily dreamed of becoming a police officer or paramedic. Those dreams, not so much. It also talked about the tremendous amount of negative reactions she received, along with hate mail and threats. She has underwent mental health counseling and treatment. Documents say she remained on the restrictive pretrial bond for a total of 1,000 days without any violations. In court on Wednesday, Hernandez called her own actions ungodly and says she prays for the victims daily. Court documents said Hernandez's emotional makeup will forever contain feelings of remorse, grief, and sadness. She says, "I feel like it should not have been her. It should have been me. She had a family, and I was lost at the time." Her defense attorney had tried to recommend 120 days for the vehicular homicide, but the court wasn't so thrilled with that option and instead sentenced them to 10 years and 7 years, respectively, to be served concurrently. Right after the hearing, they spoke to Victoria's family, saying nothing will bring her back. "We have an empty hole in our heart that will always be there," said her mom. "It was some relief to be able to turn and look her in the eyes and tell her how much harm she's done to us. That's a choice she made, she has to live with." Victoria's niece, Desiree Romeo, says everything has changed and there will always be an empty seat at the holidays. Saying, quote, Emily chose her actions that night and she chose the wrong way over and over again. I mean, driving the wrong way on the interstate, you think there would be some pretty interesting context clues, having driven several miles the wrong way on the interstate. But, I guess you do you. I mean, not for nothing, but I remember one time I took the wrong way driving in downtown Atlanta. I drove the wrong way on a one-way street. And I about shit my pants, driving like a quarter of a block. So, dude, man, I mean, come on, shit, man. It's like, come on. Emily, chose her actions that night and chose the wrong way over and over again. I don't feel any amount of time she will serve back, but it won't rectify her actions. I hope she can change and be a better Tayson. There's no date for parole, but Victoria's family said they'll be there for every date moving forward. So, yes, one of the January 6ers was sentenced today to 10 years in prison, but not for the events of January 6th, mostly for driving the wrong way down a interstate highway for several miles while drunk out of her mind and, killing people in their car. So I think a much more understandable sentence. So I've pulled a slight trick on you to do a little update story. So I hope you enjoyed that little update story and that little tease. Well, my friends, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. For now. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I've been Uncivil Law. Until later, my friends, I hope all's well for now. Cheers, my friends, and goodbye.